Edmund Dulac's American weekly magazine series, Follies That Destroyed Famous Queens, by DulacEbooks.com. Semiramis. Semiramis was a queen of superhuman beauty who built Babylon. She was a warrior queen who led her armies to battle. Once she was captured. As soldiers advanced to slay her, she slipped out of her clothes, facing them only in her birthday suit. Her enemies thought she must be a goddess to be as beautiful as that. So they worshipped her instead of killing her. Later on, Semiramis played the same trick on her rebellious subjects at Babylon. She came before them from the temple of the goddess Ishtar without even a brassiere, and with the white doves of Ishtar flying around her. The rebellion ended instantly. But alas, Semiramis liked to eat and drink. She grew plumper and plumper. Then there came another uprising. It was no use to attempt the goddess trick again. So Semiramis was killed. She had been very foolish to spoil her figure. Dido. Dido was a remarkable woman, but too emotional over men. When her husband died at Tyre, she fled to another part of Africa and bargained with the natives for as much land as a bull's hide could enclose. The simple Aborigines thought they had the better of the trade until they saw Dido cut the hide into thin strips and stretch it around many acres. Then Dido built Carthage, which became the rival of Rome. Aeneas was a handsome Trojan. Dido fell in love with him. After a while, Aeneas became bored. He produced one of those extraordinary alibis which went so well in the ancient world. He told her that the god Jupiter had told him to sail away at once. Poor Dido had a terrific fit of hysterics, after which she mounted a funeral pyre, stabbed herself, and was burned to ashes. Few remember fickle Aeneas, but we still say "cut a Dido" to describe an unusually violent and foolish outburst of emotion. Cleopatra. Cleopatra was a wise and ambitious queen. By her wisdom and her wiles, she managed to cajole Julius Caesar into keeping the rapacious hands of Rome off Egypt. After he was assassinated, she picked Mark Antony for her protector. In BC 31, Antony and Octavian, whom Caesar had adopted, were fighting each other for the mastery of the Roman Empire. Antony's forces were winning on land, but the sea battle, off action, was in doubt. Cleopatra was on one vessel and Antony on another. News was brought to Cleopatra from Athens that a hurricane had torn down a statue of Bacchus, Antony's patron god, and overturned two of his own. These were dreadful omens. Cleopatra yielded to unreasoning fear and fled. Antony followed. Octavian won. Antony drove a sword through his heart. Cleopatra let a snake bite her and died. Most historians believe that if she had kept her nerve, Octavian would have been defeated and the history of the world changed. Isabella of Baveria. Isabella of Bavaria was the whoopee queen of France. She married Charles VI in 1385. Twice she had the opportunity to become a great queen, and wrecked it each time by wild parties, gambling, flirtations to put it mildly, and all-around frivolous folly. The odd contradiction about Isabella is that she was a good child, and, until Charles went insane, a modest and devoted wife. Then she took to every form of dissipation, lost huge sums at cards, and was put in prison twice. The great warrior, the Duke of Burgundy, rescued her and set her up in power again in Paris. Once more she had the opportunity to mend her ways and become a great queen. Instead, through the infamous Treaty of Troyes, she sold all of northern France to the English, sowing the seeds of future bloody wars. She died in poverty, hated and excoriated. Nevertheless, to preserve the conventions which Isabella had quite forgotten, her body was buried beside that of her royal husband, but with no funeral or other honors. Queen Chand. Queen Chand was a rarely beautiful woman, but a complete Amazon. She ruled a rich Indian kingdom when Elizabeth reigned over England. Even as a princess, she cared more for the hunt and warlike games than sitting around the palace. When she became queen, she added battle to her amusements, and had an enormous wardrobe, both for the chase and for war. Nothing bored so much as not being admired. In fact, her vanity was inordinate. At the tournament, she delighted in fighting with the javelin, bow and arrow, sword, and what not. Or she would pick a quarrel with a neighbor and lead the cavalry in a picturesque new uniform. Naturally, she made enemies. But she settled down to statecraft, and was so able that her enemies conspired to trap her through her vanity. A peculiarly enticing hunt was suggested. Chand knew she oughtn't go. Her friends had warned her, but she couldn't resist showing off just once more. She went, was cut off from her attendants through treachery, ambushed and killed. But for this folly she might have ruled India. Marie Antoinette. Of Marie Antoinette it has been written that more than anything else her extravagances and insatiable thirst for amusements, during her early years as queen, brought about the French Revolution. Money was something to be spent, and it was not for her to care from whence it came. Her marriage was loveless and uncongenial. Louis XVI preferred tinkering with clocks to tete-a-tetes with her. She sought consolation in an intimacy afterwards cruelly misrepresented with a gay but greedy set who used her to enrich themselves. She plunged into prodigalities and costly fantastic fates when the country was suffering from starvation. For 7 years she remained childless. With the birth of her first child she became a devoted mother, but it was too late. The revolution had been born also. The mob broke into the Tuileries on June 20th, 1792, vilely insulted the Queen and her children, put a red cap on little Dauphine, and dangled Marie Antoinette's crowned effigy before her eyes. And not long after, the blade of the guillotine fell upon both Louis's neck and hers. Mary, Queen of Scots. Mary, Queen of Scots was too tender-hearted to be queen, especially of wild Scotland. Queen Elizabeth, her English rival, used men, but Mary allowed men to use her. Reared in sunny France in the magnificent Renaissance court of the Valois, gay, charming, left a widow of a French king when a girl, she was called to rule Scotland, and, with forebodings, sailed for its stern shores. She married her cousin, Lord Darnley, a mindless ruffian. She was trying to forget her sorrows, listening to the songs and poetry of her Italian secretary Rizzio, when Darnley and other Scots broke in and murdered the Italian. Knox, the noted Protestant reformer, is said to have been fascinated by her, but preached bitter sermons against her. Her heart was touched by Lord Boswell, a dashing warrior, who obligingly helped Darnley out of the world. She was dethroned, fled to England, and her head cut off through Elizabeth's orders. It is folly for queens, as for anybody else, to be too tender-hearted. This series and others can be found on our website, dulacebooks.com.